flag up here in the corner just to
It's okay. Start over. Start from that first
anyways,
paragraph.
it had this up here just to signify that it was a union, but the rest of the stripes were to signify the 13 colonies. When this was commissioned, a secret committee was formed, and of course George Washington was on that committee, along with Robert Morris, which was a wealthy landowner, and Colonel George Ross, which was had a nephew that was married to Betsy Ross. So all three men actually knew Betsy from some way or form. George Washington, he actually sat across from Betsy Ross in church, and of course Colonel George Ross was the uncle of Betsy Ross's husband. This was created in 1776, around May, but before that, that's when, early January is when this one was created. All the colors on the flag, still to this day, mean something. Like red means the hardness and valor. Blue means vigilance, perseverance, and justice. And white is the purity and innocence of the country at the time, or at least what they were trying to establish at the time. Yeah, right here it is. Instead of the stars, like I said, the British flag, which was it signified the unity of all the colonies at the time. The transformation of the flag over the years, I mean, it went through so many transformations, different things. As you notice here, there's a total of 15 stars. That was, and this flag was actually the one that was the inspiration behind the Star Spangled Banner. And it's the name Star Spangled Banner. That was flown in 1812 during the battles, during the 1812 war. Now, these are the most recognizable Confederate flags. This is a part of American history. It's not the best part of American history. On these flags, the stars signify the same as on the regular flag, which is the states. These were symbolize the states of the Confederacy. This one here, and this was actually made for Navy ships, but most soldiers on the battlefield used this one because of how big it was. This was actually the second flag, and it had a white field, same as the other flags. The white field was to signify that it was about the unity of the southern states.
Where did you find this information?
All this information was on the usflagsite.org and ushistory.org is where I found all this information out. Two great sites, a lot of information. This here was only flown for 36 days, right before the surrender of the Confederate soldiers. The red stripe was added because they didn't want to mistake the whole white flag as being a flag of surrender, but it only got to see action for 36 days. And of course, this is the Union flag, which it has the 34 stars for all the states that was actually represented in the Union. Oh Glory, most people don't know this, but there's Oh Glory was actually named after the 48 Stars flag, and this is the one they actually raised at Iwo Jima during the Iwo Jima invasion. It was put on Mount Suribachi. I actually have visited Mount Suribachi. It's a surreal feel. I've stood on the land where many, countless Americans and Japanese have died. like I said, this was 5 U.S. Marines and 1 Navy corpsman that actually raised the flag at Mount Suribachi in 1945. This one was flown on every warship that was in Pearl Harbor at the time of the attack. In 1960, in 1959 was actually when the next flag, which is our flag today, was had 2 more stars added to include Alaska and Hawaii.
And what year was that?
That was 1959 is when this one was actually made, but it wasn't officially recognized until 1960 by President Eisenhower. And a cool thing about the flags, over all the history of every flag, not one of them has ever served more than 5 terms in administration, 5 different administrations, I should say, of presidents. This one has been the longest and probably will always stand that way, unless.
I don't know. Puerto Rico wants to be a state.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Unless one of the territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, I think, Puerto Rico, Guam, and some of the U.S. Virgin Islands might even want to be considered a state. Anyways, this is the greatest symbol of freedom that we have in the U.S. Unfortunately, all over the world, they don't see it the same. I mean, everybody's got their own point of views. That's pretty much it.
Do you have a flag at your house? Do you fly a flag?
Oh yeah, I think it's a 20-foot pole. My dad actually bought it. I'm living in his house. It's a 20-foot pole and it's got a 4x6 flag on it, which I fly no matter what. It's right underneath a light. You're not supposed to fly a flag unless it has a light on it at night. But it's right underneath the street, or right close to a street light, so you can still see it. But I wanted to sit there and get. They got this ball-mounted light that go up the top of it that is solar powered and you can shine down under it all night long. Which that's my next little project. But that's pretty much this speech. I hope everybody enjoyed it and had a lot of information passed on.